Hello there, everyone. My name is Oversoul. This is Oversoul Gaming, and welcome to The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, a recently as in back in January of 2024, uh, PS5 remastered version of The Last of Us Part 2. And although the visual differences between this version and the PS4 version are negligible at best, what this mode does offer is a whole assload of bonuses, including a roguelike mode called No Return, and some lost levels and other stuff, behind the scenes stuff. There's a whole podcast you can listen to. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, though, I'm not doing any of that. What I'm here for is to do a replay of the story of this game because I feel like this game does not get the credit that it actually deserves, in my in my opinion. Let's go with a light experience. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. Oh, and you can turn on permadeath in this version of the game too. Not exactly something I want to do, but anyways, I feel like this game gets hated on unfairly for a vast multitude of reasons. Some of them are fair arguments, while others are completely stupid ones built from places of nothing but pure hate and ignorance. But um, I think this game's only real problem is the pacing, if I'm being honest. Like in the beginning here, in the beginning of the game, we pick up, a few years later with Joel and Ellie and Jackson. But in order to really drive home the emotional aspects of what this game's trying to convey, the game should have opened with um, Abby as a
I don't know
kid
what happened.
when her father died at the end of the first game.
I was
That would
supposed
have,
to take her to the Fireflies and walk away.
I just felt like that would have been better pacing. I still like this game,
To
though,
go
all things
halfway
being
across the
said.
country with someone. She needed her immunity to mean something. Maybe I was starting to buy into that whole cure business. Maybe I just wanted to do right by her. And then we made it. We found the Firefly. Because of her, they were actually going to make a cure.
But
The only catch, it would kill her. Sweet Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
and then he went on a murderous rampage.
Jesus Christ, Joel.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I saved her.
And potentially doomed the rest of humanity in the process. I mean, granted, we don't know for sure that the cure would have actually worked, and this created one of the biggest debates in video game history. Was Joel in the right here
Come on, baby
for what he did?
I got you.
You know?
I got you.
Now, I'm of the opinion that both Joel and Marlene are in the wrong. And here's why. And this is going to sound mildly political, and I assure you I don't mean it to. I'm just stating facts.
That's
But
that's a lot.
it should have been Ellie's choice. They should have laid all the facts out on the
Where's Ellie
table.
now?
I told her they just ran some tests.
Yeah, you lied.
I told her her immunity meant nothing.
She deserved to know the truth. You fucking... Ah, man. And then you wonder why you two are
And
distant
she
now.
believed you?
She's not stupid. No, she didn't believe him.
Didn't say otherwise.
She didn't say it, but her eyes did. Her eyes told you that she knew you were full of shit. It should have been her choice, because it's her body, her choice. That's
We
why I
should
said
head
it.
back.
It might sound political because I use that phrase, but it's a fact. You know, Joel and Marlene should have sat her down, put all the facts out on the table, and said, "Look, this is how it is. You know, we think this will work. It might make a cure, but you will die. There's no guarantee." And let her make the choice, because it's her body. I mean, I know the Fireflies probably would have tried to force her if she said no. And then you can worry about having a firefight, because at that point it's self-defense. But what Joel did is just straight up damn near genocide. Quite frankly. Man, this is such a beautiful looking game. Even in performance mode. I tell you, this game has a lot in common with The Walking Dead, though. Both in terms of visual fidelity, because it's got that, like, classic kind of staticky film grain texture over it. You know, that gritty look to it. And also in terms of the amount of people that die, who are also main characters. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, though. Look, I tell you what. I like Joel as a character, although I do like Ellie more as a character, but I am of the opinion that what's coming to him in this game, he more or less had it coming. Did I want that to happen? No, but I am a firm believer in consequences of your actions. There's no way that you can do what he did at the end of the first game and just straight up get away with it. Not in a world with no rules where everyone lives by the laws of vengeance and nature. He should have been watching his back better. He should have known someone would have came for him. That being said, though, we're introduced to the quote-unquote villain of this game basically when she kills Joel right after he saves her. And that to me is bad pacing, because what they should have done, like I said, is they should have opened this, because we just saw everything that Joel did in the beginning, but they should have added in a little bit of Abby's perspective, showing that it was her father as one of the people that he killed, to build a little more sympathy for her, so that her choices, her actions in the beginning of the game make more sense to the audience. You know, that way you're already emotionally conflicted from the get-go because you saw him kill her father beforehand. But the way that they do it in this game is they introduce her killing Joel and set her up to be the villain, and then expect you to feel bad for her halfway through the game, and it just is not, that's not easy for a lot of people to do, you know. If you want to do the media literacy thing, you have to emotionally manipulate your audience into feeling the way you want them to feel. And pacing has a lot to do with that. You know, they fucked up the pacing, which is why a lot of people hate Abby, regardless of the second half of the game that shows things from her perspective. I'm happy to report that I am not among that group of people, though. I actually like Abby, but it wasn't because they portrayed Abby in a sympathetic light. It's because they portray Ellie in an unsympathetic one eventually. It's not that I feel bad for Abby, it's just that I feel uncomfortable around Ellie later in the game, because the way that the game portrays her makes her look like an absolute monster. And so, when I'm comparing them together, Abby is definitely the lesser of two evils in that regard. Because what Ellie turns into by the end of this game, and the choices that she makes
It's okay.
that lead to all the loss that she
You go on.
suffers,
You sure?
it's hard to justify at that point. There's a point in this story where she should have just left well enough alone and just
Not
took
we
what
were
she
talking
got.
about earlier.
But she couldn't. She just couldn't. And that's upsetting.
I can't say I'd have done different. I'll take it to the grave if I have to.
I'll see you later, Tom.
Say what you will, though, about the story, but this is one of the best looking and mechanically best playing PlayStation exclusives. Or, well, PlayStation console exclusive. It might be on PC too, but I don't care. There's a difference between exclusive and console exclusive.
Hello? Ellie?
I know I already did a cinematic playthrough of this on my channel after doing a commentary replay of the first game, but I never gave this game an actual like let's play or replay, so I wanted to do that and share my actual thoughts on it outside of my top 10
Jesus.
video that I did that
Just gave me
year.
a heart attack.
I tried knocking, but
Plus, it's worth mentioning that the cinematic playthrough that I did was back when I was using flash drives that were incompatible with the recording device I had at that time, and that was before the PS5 came out, and I didn't want to record like low quality bitrate videos on the PS4. My recording device recorded better quality videos then, but now the PS5 records better quality videos internally than both of them do, so that's what I'm using for this. Especially because I can record in 4K HDR and upload straight to YouTube just from the system for my replays. That being said, though, I faced a lot of issues recording that, and there was a lot of visual glitches, and some of the most important scenes near the end of the game were visually glitched. So, yeah, that's a problem. So I figured it's about time that we give this another go. And especially now that I can give my full, unfiltered, unadulterated thoughts on all of this. And you may not agree with everything I have to say, and quite frankly, I don't care. This is my channel, goddammit. But I'm open to discussion as long as people are civil. You keep it civil in the comments, and we'll have a good time. But you start being a little bastard, and I'm gonna mute you. So, yeah. I only say that because this is a very controversial game, and I know that there are going to be people that like the Joel stands that are going to disagree very hard with my opinions, and I'm just like, that is assuming anyone actually watches this garbage in the first place.
Hey,
hey,
what's up, Joel?
Me, what's
just
up,
checking
Doc?
in. Folks are, talking about how impressed they are with you and how well you're helping out.
Been doing a lot of side quests
It's good.
out here.
Yeah. Tommy and I went out riding the other day, and he told me a joke, and I thought about you. It's oh shoot, I forgot it. Something about a clock. How do you?
Joel, it's pretty late and I gotta get up in a few hours.
Yeah. I know. I'm gonna get out of your hair. Just I want to show you something. Just give me 1 second.
I've got a joke for you, Bats. Two crazy guys escaped from an asylum.
this?
Oh.
Some folks call this thing here a guitar.
Funny.
You want to hear something?
Okay.
Okay. Promise me that you won't laugh.
I won't laugh. I won't.
Why is
Trust me.
why is the judder? Why am I getting so much judder?
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Everything I have found here, I'm not found by myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make this man of me. All my stolen missing parts, I've no need for any more. 'Cause I believe, and I believe 'cause I can see our future days, days of you and me.
Beautiful.
There
Brings
you
a
go.
tear to the eye.
Well, that didn't suck.
I almost forgot how emotional this
I'll
game
take
is.
what I can get.
Boy, we're in for a trip.
She's yours.
No. No. I don't know the first thing
I
about
promised that I'd teach you how to play.
this. You did.
In case it wasn't obvious already, by the way, this is a replay where I am going to be spoiling the game as we play
What'd you say,
and
tomorrow night? First
talk
lesson?
about shit that happens later and stuff too, because
Deal.
I feel like I have to. I have to with this one. I just have to. So if you haven't seen this already, oops, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Seen or played it, I mean. This is one of those replays that's meant
Did-
for the people who've already been through it.
Do you remember the joke?
What is the downside to eating a clock? It's time consuming.
Nyuk, 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 nyuk.
That's
The real
so dumb.
the real downside to eating a clock is that clocks aren't edible.
Yeah. Good night, kiddo.
I could just see that as like a Family Guy joke, though. Peter's eating a clock for the pun. He's like, yeah, it's time consuming. And then he's eating it, and like he opens his mouth, and it's a bunch of wood splinters and blood. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Yeah, I don't dislike Joel. A lot of people seem to think that, like, if you don't take one stance or another with this game, that I don't know. That people make a lot of pointed assumptions and take, valid criticisms or
Shit.
compliments as a personal attack if they don't agree with them, and that's horseshit. You gotta leave room for nuance and media literacy, both,
Hey,
in order
Morning.
Sorry, I totally overslept. Just give me a minute and I'll get dressed.
I heard you had quite a night after I left.
Yeah.
She kissed me. It was just Dina being Dina. She didn't mean anything by it.
I was talking about your fight with Seth. Wait, you kissed Dina?
Oh. I thought this.
We're broken up 1 week and you make a move on my girl?
No. She was probably just trying to make you jealous. I would never. Oh, fuck, this is awkward.
I'm messing with you, man. I don't care. Get dressed.
You're the worst.
It's kind of fucked up you did that.
Make up your mind, my dude.
We're already late.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Smells fine.
what I was basically trying to say is that you got to have some media literacy and nuance. Those things are both very important when it comes to accurately critiquing things. You can't let stuff like personal biases and shit like that stand in the way. Like, because like, okay, for example, I'm not a fan of Soulsborne games. Gameplay wise, they're not really for me. I find them too difficult for my taste, and I know that that's the
Sure.
point, and I respect that. I so I just respect they're not for me. That being said, though, I don't think they're bad because of that. That's a stupid way of looking at things, in my opinion. I don't think they're bad. In fact, I think they're objectively good games. Like they are really good. They deserve all the praise and credit they get. They're just not for me personally, and I can understand that. Some people have valid criticisms of this game. Like I said, the pacing earlier, that's a criticism I have. I love this game, and that's a valid criticism I have. Other people have stupid ass reasons for not liking it, like, strong woman bad,
Hey,
you
is Joel
know,
up?
or
We got reports of infected out north. We sent him and Tommy out early to scout.
That sucks.
game is bad because my favorite character died.
Definitely not as much as you.
Shut up. I was just about to get up. I was.
You got everything?
Yes.
Not exactly an unceremonious or undeserved death either. In fact, it's pretty much the driving point of the whole story.
Heads up. You're the talk of the town this morning.
What?
Let me see if I got this right. You kissed Dina,
She kissed me.
which triggered Seth to call you a not-so-nice word.
Yep.
Then Joel decked him,
More of a push.
and then you got mad at Joel. That part confused me.
It was a strange night, man.
So it's worth mentioning that
Sounds exciting.
that scene where she kisses Dina is going to be a flashback later, but they originally
Maria wants a
intended
word
that
with
they
Where is she?
originally
The diner?
they originally
Is this about
intended that
Seth?
to be a whole level, you
No
know.
clue.
Just tell her you never saw me.
Nope.
Where's your fucking loyalty?
Excuse me?
Oh shit! No, I'm not trying to craft right now. God, why is it juddering like that? I'm gonna have to look up Digital Foundry's video on the PS5 version of this because I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Wait,
Hey,
it's
so
slow down because I'm recording it
we're
or
okay,
what?
right?
You and me? Yeah, of course. Dina and I are done.
I know. It's just I don't want you to think.
Ellie, we're cool. Promise.
Thanks.
Yeah, I genuinely like Joel as a character. I think he's complex and well written. I also understand that
Hey, old timer.
it's unrealistic
Yeah,
to
you
expect him to have
bitch.
gotten away with what he got away with in that story. The only way that happens is if they never made a second game and you just write your own ending. But, you know, I like that
Oh, hi.
I like that they had the balls to explore the idea of the aftermath of that heroic choice. Because a lot of your, you know, your typical stories, they end with that cliche heroic thing like, oh, the one big badass guy takes down a whole group of people and saves the damsel in distress and wins the day. Okay, but what happens after that? What happens after Happily Ever After? That's what this game has the balls to show you. Is that
Wanna grab
sometimes
some
it's
breakfast?
not always what it's cracked
No.
up to be.
Where's Maria?
And I appreciate
back.
that. I appreciate that this game has the audacity to take a look at the possibility of the consequences of the hero's actions after the end of the
Ellie.
story.
There you are. Come here.
That's something we don't like thinking about, but it happens.
Seth's got something he wants to say to you.
I don't want to hear what that bigot has to say.
Do it for me. Please.
Fine.
Seth. Seth, come here.
Hey. Look, last night I was drinking too much.
That's a terrible start to an
Sure.
apology.
I'm trying
Anytime-
to say I'm sorry.
You're trying, but you're failing.
Maria tells me that you and Dina are headed out. Yeah. Made you some sandwiches.
I hope you die, you stupid lesbo.
Okay.
They're steak.
Thank you, Seth.
Yeah. Well, you be safe out there.
Yep.
Look, anytime somebody starts an apology with, "Look,
I appreciate that.
I was drunk or I drank too much,"
got there?
it's not a real apology.
Gonna
It's
get
just a fucking
sandwiches.
excuse at that point.
Smells good.
They're yours.
You sure?
It's fine.
Let me walk you out.
Okay.
If you're truly sorry, you say "I'm sorry" first, and then you maybe explain some emotional aspects of it. But under no
When you go out, I
circumstances
want you to trade
is
off with Tommy and
"I
Joel.
had too much to drink" a
boys have been
valid
up for
excuse
far
for
too long.
anything.
Where
Period.
do I meet them?
If that's
You go
the
up to the
case,
Northwest Lookout.
then
They're
you have a
scheduled to arrive later
problem.
today. But watch yourself. There's too many sightings of infected recently.
Of course. I was gonna check out the creek trails. I'll need someone else to cover it.
Ellie, you know the creek trails?
Not really.
Dina's done it a bunch. I'll have the two of them take it.
Well, that solves that.
Yeah, it's
Ellie.
possible.
Can I talk to you for a sec?
It is possible for me to both like Joel as a character, like genuinely like him, and also think that he kind of had what's coming, you know, at the same time. The two things are not mutually exclusive. I'm allowed to think both ways. Yes, you can have your cake and eat it too, but also those two thought processes aren't directly contradictory to each other. They're allowed to coexist simultaneously. It is possible to both like him as a character and feel sad for what's about to happen to him, but also at the same time understand that what is about to happen to him is kind of deserved. You know, there's that, it's that sweet middle ground between the radical thinking of too much one way or the other.
So,
Look, I don't know what's going on with you and Joel.
Maria,
Guy really cares about you. And I'm sure he didn't mean to.
we're fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't mean to murder a bunch of people and then lie to
Okay.
you about it.
Sorry to pry.
I'm sure that was just an accident.
Be safe.
Thanks.
Not like she
Yo,
knows.
Dina! Assignments!
Just give me a minute.
We get your girlfriend to the stables, please.
Hey, Dina. Can I talk to you?
Hey, guys! I'm tapping out. Come on! How long?
I think it's another good time for me to replay this with season 2 coming out over the next couple of years.
Hey.
Be a good refresher. Not that I could
I
possibly
just want to say
forget
sorry for running off last night.
anything that happened in this
Oh,
game.
it's okay. I totally get it. I felt bad.
Why?
Because I started the whole thing, and I shouldn't have kissed you in front of all of those people. And
No, you were drunk. It's fine.
well, still, I don't want you to think.
No, I'm not reading into it or anything. Just
You know what I love about you? How you let me finish my sentences.
all right. Well, we should probably get going.
I wonder.
What the fuck? I'm not even playing.
I wonder how much of this is going to make it into the show, and how much they're going to change. They didn't really change anything in the first season. All they did was add more. And of course, they shortened the events of the game to fit into that of a show. But
Gotcha.
We're on the board, suckers!
No! You suck.
God,
No.
it's not my fault the camera's glitching out.
I mean, frick. Go tell your mom. Eat that. Boom. Eat snow, you little shit. Oh, I'm coming for you, Tiny. Oh, you like that?
Damn, these kids suck at this. We're winning hard.
I see you. Oh, you better hide.
Ow! Damn, we finally got hit.
Kid. Oh, I'm gonna come over there and fight you, like for real.
Oh, we're winning. Oh, dang.
Oh,
Bear.
suck it. In your
her face!
Your parents don't love you!
Eat
Damn.
crow!
No fair!
Eat it, shrimps!
Hey!
How's it feel?
No! Get her! Help me!
You'll never get away with this!
Get off!
Get off of her, you monsters! All right, we actually have some work to do. Scram.
Man.
I guess I asked for that, huh? Yep. Let's go.
Gladly.
So, Jesse wants us to do the creek trails. He's gonna relieve Joel and Tommy.
Oh, that's nice he assigned us together. You're gonna like this route.
Morning, girls.
Morning.
This game deals with gray area morality a lot as a talking point and a philosophical discussion kickoff.
Thank you.
So I am definitely going to be on a soapbox a few times here, just to warn you. But it's not like the things that I'm going to say are super hard are super easy to disagree with, you know, unless you just have really shit morals. Ooh, horsey.
That's a good girl.
Oh yeah, this is the part where we go to that like pot farm, I think it is. Or we accidentally stumble on one or something.
Hey, Shimmer.
Or the person we're going to meet up with has one in their basement.
Oh, look who decided to join us.
Yeah.
One for you. And one for you. Open it up. Settle down, children. All right. You all know the drill. Run your routes, mark your logbooks, clear any infected you see. You run into anything you can't handle, you come back. Be smart about it. All right. Get going.
Yes, brains before brawn if you want to survive. In this world.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously brawn comes in handy too, otherwise Abby wouldn't have fucking bulked up to take on Joel the way that she did. That's some strong-ass vengeance boner, by the way. Like, you see someone kill your dad in front of you, and you spend, what has it been, like 10 years or so? 8 to 10 years? Just bodybuilding every day, just lifting weights and shit, just ready to take down the motherfucker who took down your dad. But you almost have to respect it. I mean, as psychotic as it is. Of course, there isn't too many characters in this game who aren't fucking psychotic or guilty of something. Remember that even in the first game, Joel wasn't really technically a good person. You know, he had done some terrible things in the gap between when Sarah dies and we see him again. In order to survive and make money, he was, you know, working for some bad people and doing some really bad shit. They really drive that home in the show, the TV show version of the game, where when we meet him again after Sarah's death, he's like helping dispose of the body of a sick child.
Hey. What were you dreaming about?
Was I talking?
You're doing your teeth grinding thing.
Where have you been?
Grab your gear. I want to show you something.
What?
Trust me.
We found your target. see, having you play the first half of the game
Come
as
on.
Ellie
This
and
way.
the second half as Abby. I mean, the prologue you play as Joel, Ellie, and Abby. You know, all three of them.
It's cold.
But then,
You sure you don't want to do this when the sun's out? And it's warmer?
No. Can't wait.
And you don't want to just tell me?
You need to see it.
but then after you get past the part where you play as all three of them, after Abby gets her revenge, then you're playing as Ellie, you know, to get her revenge on Abby and them, and the game basically stops at a pivotal point and then
What are you
cuts
doing
to Abby's
wandering
part of
around
the
out here by
story.
yourself?
Been restless.
You too?
Feel like the farther south we go, the prettier it's gotten.
You want to keep going? And just drive all the way to Mexico?
I've thought about it.
You could see Manny's hometown.
Yeah, I don't see that living up to his stories somehow.
Yeah, no, probably not.
And see, they have you switch to Abby at one of the most pivotal moments where she just does something that pissed you off again. And then, you know, I don't know.
You did
that's
all this
like,
in the dark?
Yes. Now come on.
that really was bad pacing on their end to do it that way. You know, really the only complaint I actually have about this game, if I'm being honest, is that they should have had you switch back and forth between them, and the story should have started with Abby to give more of an emotional connection between her and the player. Just the order of the story is wrong, I think, in my personal opinion. But
Keep
everything
going
else
like this.
about it,
We're gonna be tired for today's trip.
everything else about
Not
it is
that
right.
far.
Hey, is Mel okay? She seemed out of it these past few days.
She'll be fine.
You stop being weird, you're freaking me out.
I'm not being weird.
And yes, I'm even okay with how this game ended. I'm perfectly okay with how this game ended, not because I don't support the idea of getting vengeance or justice on someone
Careful
who has
jumping
wronged
over
you,
these.
but because the concept of who's right and who's
Are you
wrong
breaking
and
up
the
with Mel?
What? No. You wish.
I've had my fill. Thank you.
the concept of who's right and who's wrong in this game in particular is very subjective and nuanced. Like, it's not as simple as
You're
a
gonna have to
cartoon
run to make
villain
it.
situation.
If you can do it,
You
I
know,
can do it.
Abby kills a man who, well, if you can do it, I can do it, and then I immediately fuck it up. Abby kills a man who killed her father, you know?
Ouch.
It's not like she's
Can't all
some,
be as graceful as you.
it's not like she's some cartoon villain who blew up an orphanage.
What is that?
You know
You'll
what I
be
mean?
fine.
It's too high.
Come on.
And then, of course, Ellie goes on
Hey. Eyes on me.
a vengeance quest.
Abby. Stop looking down.
Ellie goes on a vengeance quest to kill everyone who was involved in the killing of the man who
When?
killed her father.
Do we have to go
Or,
back this
wait.
way?
Consider
I
it
said that
an
wrong.
opportunity to work on your fears.
You know what I mean.
How about I work my foot up your ass?
Abby, stop flirting.
So when you think about it like that, neither one of them are really the bad guy. Neither one of them are the good guy either. It's very complicated in that regard. It's not clear cut and dry like it is in like a superhero story or some shit. Like I said, it's not like Abby blew up an orphanage or like hit a city with a cancer ray or some cartoon villain shit like that, you know.
Holy shit.
Not some like
It's a fucking
pure
city.
pure evil, you know.
Have you told anyone else?
Wanted you to see it first. Saw an armed patrol go from town to an outpost over there. There's a few more outposts in between. They have electricity, guns. It's a lot of people.
We can figure it out.
Okay.
He's
Assuming
trying to
in
talk her
there,
out of
How
it.
do we get to him?
Because he's smart.
We can corner one of the patrols and get confirmation, and then, I don't know, maybe find a way to lure him out.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure they'll be happy to offer that information up.
Well, then we make them.
You hear yourself?
Okay, what do you want to do? What is going on with you?
Mel's pregnant.
Oh. Okay.
It's not just that, though.
Should I say congrats?
When everyone else sees this, they're gonna want to turn back.
We can convince him, right?
See, I think this cutscene right here, in hindsight, is really driving
Fucking
home
knew I couldn't count on you.
how the obsession with
You would.
vengeance can drive a person mad.
Not at any cost.
Because in this situation, Abby is not looking at the situation logically, right? You know, there's a lot of people. She is so narrow-mindedly focused on getting revenge on Joel that she's not considering all these other valid arguments that Owen is putting up. She cares only about revenge and nothing else, and she'll get it at whatever cost. And I think that's kind of like the point here, because after she gets her revenge, Ellie starts spiraling down the same place. And so we do see more of Abby's perspective after the fact, where she is slowly starting to realize that the vengeance that she sought and finally got ultimately got her nowhere, because her life is still complicated and full of shit situations happening. And if anything, it just leads Ellie to come on her vengeance quest and kill all of her friends. So, but in turn, Ellie's quest for vengeance on Abby and her friends also leads to most of her friends either dying or leaving her. So both of them, on their quests for vengeance, end up losing everything and everyone that they ever cared about. And I think that's the ultimate message here. And that is why, when you think about it, the true part of the true, story here is that, regardless of your feelings about one character or another, who's the hero and who's the villain, the fact is, neither of them. They are both the hero and the villain at the same time, and they are both not. They are literally two sides of the same coin. In this situation, both of them having done what they believed to be the right thing is a result of what happened to them, but in the process doing what would be considered the wrong thing in the eyes of the people it's happening to. you know like I said, it's not clear cut and dry. There's black and white evil, like the examples I gave, blowing up an orphanage, doing, heinous things, being a serial killer, something like that. That's just undebatable. But then there's this moral gray area stuff, like the things that happen in this game, where you can't really definitively say that there is a particular good or bad person. Instead, they're all just flawed and complicated. And that's very interesting.
Hey.
Don't.
See you back at the lodge.
I think most people are just preconditionally biased to side with Ellie and Joel out the gate because they spent a whole game with them previously. But if you take the time to really break down this game, look at it with some nuance, and put on your philosopher cap, there's a lot of arguments to be made about who's right and who's wrong and yada yada. And like I said, I sit in a purely neutral area where I think, quite frankly, everyone in this universe is an asshole in some kind of way. They've all done terrible things to survive. So none of them can really claim to be quote-unquote good people anymore. But I will say this, though. Abby and Ellie are both wrong for their vengeance quests. Joel may be wrong for what he did to save Ellie, too, but Abby is also wrong for her revenge, and Ellie is wrong for her revenge. I'm not saying that the reason that they're wrong for it is because they take it too far. It's not wrong for them to want revenge. That's a very normal human emotion. You know, those feelings are valid. That is, anybody would want that, you know. But the problem is when their quest for vengeance causes them to basically that causes them to obsess so much that they put themselves and everyone else around them in unneeded danger and complicated situations just for the sake of fulfilling their revenge boner, you know? There's a point where it goes too far, and ultimately one would argue that taking the high road would be to move on, you know? But some people, they can't move on without closure.
You alive?
But here's the other thing, too. Revenge won't necessarily give you closure. If anything, it'll just leave you feeling more empty than you were before. Because people... The thing is... The thing about revenge and the quest for it is that it gives some people purpose or meaning. But then once they've completed the revenge, now their life has no meaning anymore and they just feel empty because it didn't bring back the dead person that they were getting revenge for. All it did was make them void of a soul, you know? So I think that a lot of people who go on revenge quests don't actually want revenge. It's just the thrill of seeking it that keeps them going. You know what I mean? That's like, well, there's a lot of stories where someone will be chasing someone down trying to get revenge, but it'll seem like... Uh-oh. Infected. Forgot about that part. Scared me a little. Pull out your gun, girl. All right. Time to run.
Fuck. My shoulder.
Okay, I was wondering why it wasn't working. It's weird. Why the fuck does it keep doing that? That's getting on my nerves.
How do I get out of here?
Did it download wrong or something? I'm confused. Oh god, gotta go prone.
This is a bad idea, Abby.
I forgot what I was saying before that infected grabbed my leg. Something about revenge and blah blah blah, but anyways, you got the point I was trying to make. It's a nice fantasy, but we know in most cases in real life it'll just get you arrested. Wait, am I not supposed to go through here? Ah. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be able to stealth kill an infected by doing anything near their head like that because your arm, in order to break their neck like that, your arm has to be very close to their mouth, and all it takes is one little bite. All it takes is one little nibble. Okay, he was looking my way, but I guess it still counted as stealth. I'll take it.
That's how you do it.
Yes, that is indeed how you do it. Alright, we're getting low on time. I'm gonna have to end this here soon.
Fuck, I'm so lost. Shit.
I can't remember. Does this game autosave or can I save wherever I want? Ooh, I can save wherever I want. Perfect, perfect. Alright, well, I'm gonna save here then. Alright. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end this episode here. I know I still got a few. I'm limited to 60 minutes per episode because I'm recording it directly off the system. So, anyways, that'll be it for this episode. We haven't quite made it to the climatic turning point that kicks off the narrative yet, but that'll probably be happening in the next one. So let's look forward to a little bit of golfing, shall we? Anyways. But that'll be it for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to click that like button. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you possibly at another day, definitely at another time, and likely in another video. Okay, goodbye.